Hello and welcome to the classroom. Today's letter of the day is the letter J. Can you say J? Do you have a J in your name? If your name has letter J, stand up. If your name has letter J, stand up. If your name has letter J, if your name has letter J, if your name has letter J, stand up. Well, J is for jet, and jet planes go up in the sky where the clouds are. So today you can decorate your letter J with clouds. Just draw some curvy lines all along your letter J. This is uppercase J, and there's lowercase j. So what letter is this again? It's letter J. And now that we can recognize this letter, we'll practice writing it. To write a letter J, you're just going to make a line that goes straight down and then curve around. And then you're going to make a line across at the top. Let's practice writing uppercase J. Go down and curve around with the top. Down and curve around with the top. Let's go straight down and curve around and put a line across at the top. Down and curve around with the top. Down and curve around with the top. This is uppercase letter J, and the lowercase letter J looks the same. You're still going to go down and curve around, but instead of the top, you're going to give it a dot. Let's practice lowercase j. Go down and curve around with a dot. We're going to start downstairs if you're using handwriting paper. Go down into the basement, curve around, and the dot goes upstairs. Down and curve around with the dot. This is the only letter that uses all three lines on the handwriting paper. Downstairs, the basement, and upstairs. Down, curve around with the dot. Down and curve around with the dot. Well, I want to give you a sticker for your handwriting paper. I know you're doing a great job listening and learning and practicing. Well, now it's time to talk about the sound that J makes. Letter J makes the sound J, J, J. Can you make that sound? J, J, J. Letter J says J, 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 as in jump, jump, jump. What does letter J say? J, 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 as in jump, 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 J, J, J. Well, let's use that letter sound along with all of the vowels to do some blending and reading. Can you help me sing the vowel song? A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. A, E, I, O, U. These are the vowels. Let's put J with letter A. J, A, J, A, ja, ja, jam, jam, jam. Let's draw a line to the jam. Strawberry jam. All right, let's do the next one. J with vowel E. J, E, J, E, jet, jet. What's this word? Jet, jet. Let's draw a line to the jet plane. Next, J-I. J, I, J, I, J, jig, g, g, jig, jig, like a jigsaw puzzle. Jig. Next, J-O. J, ah, j, ah, job, job. What's this word? Job. He is getting ready to go to his job. Last, J-U. J, j, jug, jug. What's this word? Jug, like a jug of milk. Well, you did a great job today with our letter time, and now it's time for math. For math today, we're going to be using a number line. We're going to be using the number line to do some subtraction problems. Here's a subtraction problem. The first number in the problem tells me where to begin. Our plane is going to take off from number 7. That's where we begin. The last number tells me the answer, equals 5. It tells me where we're going to end. This is where our plane will land. Let's see how many spaces we fly between 7 and 5. Ready for takeoff. 1, 2. We flew 2 spaces. 7 minus 2 equals 5. So we'll write number 2 right there. All right, let's do the next one. The first number tells me where to begin. We're going to begin at number 9. That's where our plane will take off. We're going to end or land the plane at number 4. Let's see how many spaces we fly. Ready for takeoff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We flew 5 spaces. 9 minus 5 equals 4. So let's write number 5 here. Next, we're going to begin at number 7. That's where the plane takes off from. And we're going to end at number 6. Ready for takeoff. 1. We only flew 1 space. So let's write number 1 here. 7 minus 1 equals 6. Okay, let's do this one right here. The first number in the problem is 11, so that's where the plane will take off. The last number is 8. That's where our plane will land. Let's see how many spaces we'll fly. 1, 2, 3. Right, number 3. 11 minus 3 equals 8. Using a number line makes it easy to subtract. It doesn't even feel like a subtraction problem. All right, so here we go. We're going to start at number 6. We're going to land at number 1. Ready to fly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We flew 5 spaces. Right, number 5. 6 minus 5 equals 1. Well, you did a great job today using a number line for subtraction. Now it's time for science. And for science today, we're going to be talking about jet planes. First, let's take a look at the parts of a jet plane. So if you look way down there at the front of the plane, you'll see the nose. We have a nose on the front of our faces, and the part right here at the front of the plane is called a nose. It's rounded so that the air can easily flow around it. Right here also at the front, you're going to see some windows. That's where the pilot and co-pilot sit, right inside there in the cockpit or flight deck. You'll also see windows all along both sides of the plane. Passengers sit inside this part of the plane in rows. They can look out the window. Hello. If you look right here on the two sides of the plane, sticking out, you can see wings. And underneath the wings, you can see two jet engines. At the back of the plane, you can see a tail. Now, how does this big, giant, heavy plane stay up in the air? Well, it has to do with four forces that work together to help keep the plane up and keep the plane going. The first force is called thrust. The engines help thrust or push the plane forward. The next force is called lift. Air flows underneath the wings and helps to lift up the plane. The next force is gravity. Gravity is always pulling objects that are up down to the earth. And the last force is called drag. That's what slows the plane down. So if one of these forces was working and not the others, you can see that the plane wouldn't work the way that it should. If we only had thrust, the plane would just go forward like a car. If we only had lift, the plane would go up like a rocket. If we only had gravity, the plane would come straight down. And if we only had drag, the plane would be very slow. It wouldn't get very far. So all four of these forces must be balanced or working together in order for the plane to work, in order for it to stay up, and in order for it to land when it's time. Well, it is time for us to go over to art. We're going to make a jet plane. For art today, we're making this plane. It's just a paper plane, and I'm using 3 different colors of paper. You can use any colors you like. I'm going to start by drawing a triangle. A triangle has 3 sides. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut out the triangle. I want 2 triangles, and I want them to be just the same. So I'm going to trace my first triangle onto another piece of paper. Just draw right along the edge of the first triangle. Pick it up. There's the triangle that you just drew. Let's cut it out. So now we have 2 triangles that are just the same. Now I want my wings to be different colors. So I'm going to take this triangle and I'm going to cut just these 2 parts off. These are going to be the wings. So I don't want the middle part. I just want this wing and this wing. So you can see I just cut off the 2 wings. And now I'm removing this middle part. So I'm going to glue these 2 wings on each side of my first triangle. Just like that. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to just make this window and this triangle that goes at the end. So I'm going to use another piece of paper and I'm going to draw a rectangle, just a small rectangle, and also a diamond. I'm going to cut out those 2 shapes. So what we used for this plane was 2 triangles, a rectangle, and a diamond. That's all we needed. All right, so take the rectangle and fold it in half. And then fold the ends back just a little bit so we can put some glue on there. And that goes right here in the front. And then do the same thing with the diamond. Fold it and let's glue it closed. and put some glue on the bottom. And that will sit right here at the end, at the back of the jet plane. So there you have it. We made a plane, a paper plane. Here's the one that I made before. And here's the one that's still drying. So that's our art project for today. And now it's time for story time. Here's another look at that paper plane that I made. And now it's time for story time. And our book today is called Amazing Airplanes by Tony Mitton. Whoosh! An airplane is amazing, for it travels through the sky, above the clouds for miles and miles, so very fast and high. An airport is the place you go to take a trip by air. You check in at the terminal to show you've paid your fare. The ground crew weighs your baggage and loads it in the hold, and then you take the walkway to the plane when you are told. The flight deck's where the captain and co-pilot do their jobs. They both know how to fly the plane with all its dials and knobs. They radio control tower to check the runways clear. They can't take off unless it is with other planes so near. By intercom, the captain on the flight deck says hello. You have to put your seatbelt on before the plane can go. A plane is big and heavy, yet it climbs up really high. It soars along the runway and soars into the sky. Its wings hold big jet engines, which are loud and very strong. They suck in air and blow it through to whoosh the plane along. When the plane moves fast enough, the air around so swift, it pushes up beneath the wings and makes the whole plane lift. Soon the plane is in the air, so now you're on your flight. The cabin crew look after you and make sure you're all right. They bring you drinks and magazines and trays of food to eat. And sometimes there's a movie you can watch while in your seat. When the journey's over, the captain lands the plane. Control tower has to say it's safe before coming down again. You sit with seatbelt fastened. There's a bumpy rumbling sound. The wheels are making contact and the plane is on the ground. At last the doors are opening, then out you come with smiles. So give a cheer, hooray, you're here. You've flown for miles and miles. The end. Well, I hope you had some fun today with letter J is for jet. Tomorrow, K is for kangaroo. I'll see you then. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.